playing some ball with the boys. We're 3 games in. You know, we got a 2-1 lead in the series. You know, we're gonna hopefully go up 3-1 and finish it out in Game 5 back at home. Hit a couple gamers, no big deal. But G Unit, best hooper in the UFC. G Unit here. This is my boy. He's fighting November 8th at the Shrine Mosque. You gotta get at him for tickets. So Garrett, tell us a little bit more.
You know, I'm Garrett. G Unit. Everyone calls me G Unit though. Yeah, fight November 8th, so it'll be like 4 weeks from now, from this Saturday. But yeah, just out here playing some basketball. I'm the first guy below 6 foot to clamp up juice, so it's pretty exciting stuff. Follow my Instagram, the.garrett.cross.
Come on! There you go, guys. That's the best hooper in the UFC getting some buckets. You know, I need my other guys. I'm practicing already for the Julius Walker UFC basketball game. So I need all my other guys. I need Phil Rao. You gotta go. He's got a fight coming up. Once your fight's over, go get some buckets. Danny Barlow, go get some buckets. Who else did we sign? Cyril gone after you get your fight done. Go get some training in. We got the NFL to beat, man. I'm out here hooping, getting ready. You guys get ready too. Just got done hooping, so we came over to Springfield VNC to pick up some recovery products. Check out me and Must See TV, Colt Thayer and Vaught's line in here. We really appreciate these guys helping us out with the Fun to Fight collection. It allows us to, you know, branch out, do more training, you know, be able to get more supplements. It's a blessing to have these guys in our corner. So come in here, check out our line, man, over here on South Campbell, Springfield VNC, baby. Gonna head back home after this, knock out our little Q&A, and then go from there. All right, guys, let's kick this Q&A off. Got some fun questions. When did you decide to become an MMA fighter? I was always interested in combat sports and potentially maybe stepping into that world, but as a kid I always was a basketball player. You know, I wanted to play basketball in college. Whenever I was in college, I used to tell my teammates I was going to become an MMA fighter one day, but I was kind of BSing. And then when I stopped playing in 2019, I just said, you know what, we're going to do this thing. I kind of just wanted to train at first, but I got competitive pretty quickly. It was fun, and I thought it would be cool. You know, I feel like that's why 90% of fighters started doing it. What is your go-to meal for getting enough protein? One sneaky one that I like is the plain non-fat Greek yogurt with protein powder, and I'll use chocolate protein powder, and then I'll mix some like peanut butter in there too. That'll get you like 60 grams of protein to start your day off if you throw enough in there. So that's a nice one. When are they gonna add you into UFC 5? I don't know. I think I need to do some cool things in the cage to get into UFC 5. It's kind of what I've surmised. You have to do some cool stuff. So I'm gonna do some cool stuff and try to get into UFC 5. Do I play any video games? If so, what? Not a lot right now. I've played some. Here are some of the games I've played though. I was at one time I was super good at FIFA. Phenomenal FIFA player. You wouldn't believe how good I was. I played Fortnite. I'm okay at Fortnite. When I was in like 10th grade, we all played this game called Destiny. All the boys watching that played Destiny with me back in the day, we used to grind on that game. Legendary times. But lately I would say if I fired up my Xbox, I would probably play either like GTA, Red Dead, maybe FIFA. I'd probably play Fortnite a little bit. You know, I guess that brings people together. Best part about being in the UFC, that's a tough one. Fighting, it's cool. The food at the PI. Food at the PI I think it's great. What's one of your favorite fan moments? Here are some funny things that I can remember. Seattle. Anybody that is, maybe there'll be people on here that I met in Seattle. That was like that was the coolest experience ever. That being my first UFC fight still blows my mind. It was fun. That whole week that I got there on Tuesday, I was there for about a week. It felt like a big deal. You know, it felt like people around knew the UFC was in town. It was super cool. And then after the fight, I hung out there on Sunday and walked around town, and it was super cool. We took tons of pictures, you know. That was a really freaking cool experience. It would hard to even pick one thing from that whole experience. When I fought in Seattle, that was the first time I'd ever been to a UFC fight. I hadn't even watched in the crowd, which I'm sure that's the case for a lot of guys. But when you're in the UFC, you get 4 tickets to all of your fights. And I had me and 3 coaches. It was on 9 days notice, so I didn't really have family there. Nobody was able to fly to Seattle and, you know, 9 days notice. After the fight, here's some other cool stuff. When you're in the UFC, after the fight, you go see a doctor. If you win after you see the doctor, you're gonna do like take pictures and do interviews and feel cool. After you lose, you see the doctor, and then boom, you're supposed to go home. And we're in this little mini limo, me and my coaches, and we're like, can we like go back to the front? We wanna actually watch the fights. I'd been a UFC fighter for 9 days. So you're not thinking like, oh, I'm a UFC fighter, you know? So I mean, even though I just fought in the UFC. And we went back in there, and I had brought my 4 comp tickets because we'd planned on doing that. I was literally in my fight shorts. I pulled up my sweats and I threw on my jacket and zipped it up. And we went back in there. When the dude driving the little mini bus limo thing stopped, somebody freaking rear-ended him and drove off. So whoever did that, you suck, you're a jerk. That was not cool. There wasn't really anything we could do though. We just went on in to go watch the fights. It was wild though, because everybody wanted to take a picture. That was a cool experience. Shout out to the fans in Seattle. My favorite mini fridge brand is the Devin Shields mini fridge brand. He's one of my buddies. He was a fighter, now he's a mini fridge. Who's an ideal next opponent? I've asked for Tuco Tokos a few times. You know, who knows what he has going on. All these guys, they have stuff going on. I think me versus Bellotto would be cool. The guy, he just fought, I can't remember who he just fought, not Sterling. Me versus Bellotto is a cool fight. I don't know. Here's the thing. I'm on my first UFC contract. I'm 2 fights in. I'm the youngest dude in the division. As far as I know, I don't know how old all the Contender Series guys are, but I was the youngest guy in the division, and I'm the least experienced guy in the division. I've been training for 6 years, had no background. So any of you that were watching MMA in 2019, imagine back then you were watching MMA and you decided you wanted to do it. That was me. I was just like you. I played basketball and stuff. I was an athletic guy. But in 2019, I just decided I wanted to go try an MMA class. And it's 6 years later, I'm fighting in the UFC. Long story short, I want to fight other people that are probably on their first contract. I fought a top 15 guy in my first fight. I'm down to fight whoever they ask me to fight though. Hopefully I fight, you know, maybe I'll get to fight in December, who knows. Hopefully I get to fight in the early next year. But I'm excited, I'll be ready to go. What's my walk around weight? That's one of those questions where once you get into the heavier weight classes, the answer becomes a little bit more long-winded. Some guys would just sit here and they'd be like, oh, I weigh this much. But I'm a big guy and I like to eat, so sometimes I get a little bit chunky. I'll just be honest with you guys, all right? Sometimes I'm a little over 250. Damn! Okay, sometimes I'm like 255. Right now, I'm probably like 250. I just played basketball, so we'll say I'm 249, you know, I hope. Probably 250 or so though. Whenever I get into a camp though, after a few weeks in camp, I'm, you know, 240. I could, if I ate a little bit more diligently, I would probably be like 240, 245. I'm a pretty solid guy in the cage. I get back up to a little over 230 whenever I fight, so. 3 most important advantages a person can have physically and mentally for fighting. I'm probably gonna end up giving you more than 3. Q&As are hard for me because I just start rambling. 3 things physically and mentally. I don't know if it's supposed to be 3 things overall or 3 things physically and 3 things mentally, but here's what you're gonna get from me. One of the biggest advantages, this is gonna be a shocker, guys, that you can have physically for fighting is being stronger than the other person. When you are just a really strong physical human, especially once again when you get into the higher weight classes, that is really useful. Yeah, technique is great, but all the fighters that you guys hear about that they have great cardio, or at least 90% of them, and all the champions, you always hear people say that, man, they were really strong. Like Merab is the best cardio in the UFC, but he's also really freaking strong, you know, for his size, all that. Being really strong helps a lot. Mentally, I would say being a healthy amount of stupid and crazy helps a little bit. You have to have a little bit of a level of belief in yourself and plug the leaks of doubt that can seep into your brain very, very well, or it's gonna be really hard to perform successfully with the anxiety that comes with fighting another dude in a cage. Big mental advantage is when you actually enjoy it, when you're able to be enthusiastic about training and what you're doing, when you enjoy what you're doing, and when you learn to look at it in a sense of I'm trying to be enthusiastic about what I'm doing and excited and happy that, you know, the problems that I have are the ones that I was hoping that I would have. When you're enthusiastic about it, you want to do it and you want to be there, that helps a lot. Quickest way to drop weight, eat less, work out more. What's your go-to workout? I think one of the most awesome workouts that you can do for MMA is twisty things with a band. I'm not a trainer, but I have an incredible trainer, Taylor Ramsdale, and we do lots of twisty things with the band. I need to have you have to be strong rotationally in fighting. What is the wildest / craziest thing that you have seen since doing MMA? I was cornering. This was in like 2021. I was in Columbia, Missouri. I was helping corner some of the guys that were fighting, and this dude walks out to fight. Other guys in his debut, and this guy walks out to fight. They get in the cage. They lock the cage door. The ref says fight, and he starts trying to corner, and his cup falls out of his pants. And then he picks his cup up and he tries to put his cup back in. And they start the fight again, and his cup falls out of his pants again. I think it maybe happened a third time. And then they were like, yeah, no, he can't fight. And everyone just is like booing the poor kid. He ran in there with fight shorts, boxers, and a cup. He didn't even have anything to hold his cup in place. So when he started fighting, his cup freaking fell out. I was like, dude, what's going on here? Where do we find these guys? The dude, he was fighting a dude from St. Louis that's actually pretty good now. He's an undefeated guy. I think Chris Connors was who he was fighting, but I don't remember this kid's name. I would love to know if he ever fought, if he ever actually fought. The second time he got a fight scheduled, if he brought something to hold his cup in place. That would be funny. If anybody has that information, comment it down below. Boom, there you go, guys. That's the end of the vlog. It's a day in the life of Juicebox. Comment down below some other things you want to see. If you have questions for the next one, comment those. Like and subscribe, share, tell your friends to like and subscribe. Let them know that Juicebox has a YouTube. Boom, that's it, guys. See you next time.